Your eyes are not tricking you. You are watching Celebrate Michigan. I'm on a special set today, and I will tell you all about the film that was just made here at Derry Studios. But first, you're familiar with today's guest. You've heard his voice on local Detroit radio stations, in your favorite Detroit sports arenas, calling the games. You've seen his face on local news and his own show, Movie Show Plus, where he rubs elbows with some of the greatest celebrities of our time. It's time to welcome Greg Russell to our show. Greg,
hi.
Fancy meeting you here in this amazing diner.
There.
Thank you. Oh, that was so gentlemanly.
I had
so
to.
It's good to see
Great
you
to
today.
See you.
Yeah, and what brings you here to the diner?
I was kind of lost in the 50s today. Old Ronnie Millsap song, but wow, this is so great.
Yeah.
I just wanted to come by and enjoy and write out a few ideas.
Oh, what are you working on there?
Well, this is kind of for you. You may remember this from like grade school.
Oh, it's a do you like me, yes or no, circle one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a big yes, Greg. We love you on Celebrate Michigan. I thought maybe you had the next screenplay for the next big blockbuster film that you were sketching out on the cocktail
Kind of
napkin.
working on that too.
Okay.
It's going to involve zombies, dancers, and horses.
Transformers in there anywhere? No?
Probably.
Yeah,
you can do anything nowadays.
Oh, I love it. Well, so glad to have you back on the show.
Always.
You're such a friend of Celebrate Michigan, and every time we talk to you, you've got some new, exciting news to give us. Today, though, I want to just start out with where you started out. I know Movie Show Plus, of course, our friends that are watching now have seen it, but how did you get to this place? Give us the quick bio.
Well, I was one of those people who grew up loving movies.
Yeah.
And at the time I grew up, I was one of the few kids who actually had their own television set. Because usually it was the family's thing.
Oh, yeah.
And so I had my own. And on Saturdays at 12 noon, they stopped the cartoons and just played old movies. And you didn't have the thing where you can go now like Star Wars Episode 3. No, it was like whatever.
Yeah, no streaming.
Right.
No.
So you just had to watch every old movie and you just began to like them. I mean, like Jimmy Cagney, Humphrey Bogart and the like. And just always thought, wow, that's something I'd really like to do. Mm-hmm. And then I started imitating them. And when I got a tape recorder, I would do all different voices as far as making my own movie without video.
And then it just rolled out from there.
Yep.
Wow. When you think back over the time, did you know you were going to wind up not here in this diner with me today?
Oh, I couldn't think of a better place to be than in this diner with you today.
I know, but the host of your show, you're in so many different places. Did you ever think that this was going to be? Did you have that feeling down
Well, something
somewhere?
that always makes me feel really good is I went to U of D Jesuit High School. That's
Yeah.
where I graduated
Yeah.
from. But if I'd stayed in public school, I would have graduated from Pershing High School because that was in the neighborhood. And those are all the kids I grew up with.
Yeah.
There was one reunion a few years back. There was a guy, I hadn't seen him in 20 or so years. He brought his wife over to introduce her to me, and she's going, oh yeah, every time you're on TV, he's always going, that's my buddy, from kindergarten, da-da-da-da-da. And he looked at me and said, you know what? You were talking about this stuff back in first grade. So it's kind of like, yeah. It's kind of like just kind of always knew this is the avenue I wanted to go down.
The through line, right?
Yep.
And I understand that that's come full circle. We will talk about Movie Show Plus, but I understand you're also doing some teaching related to film and acting. So tell us about that.
Right, part of a program a friend of mine put together for Detroit Public Schools. So I teach acting as well as filmmaking with your phone. And
oh my gosh.
it's it's really great because like you and I even said off camera, now your phone has a better camera than the ones I started out
incredible.
with, as well as editing software. And so I just tell them we're going to put together like little 2-minute films, nothing for them to stress over. And they come up with these great and sometimes weird ideas, but who's to judge,
Right. What is the reaction of the students that you're working with?
Oh, they have a good time. I mean, I think one of the things I do is I show them a video of what I do.
Okay.
So then they now know, oh, okay, you do talk to Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, don't you? Yes.
And I understand we have something kind of interesting on the set today. I know I'm going all over, but I can't help but notice there's something over your shoulder there. The other shoulder.
My
Speaking of your brushes with celebrity, what is that?
This is a Vin Diesel jacket from XXX, which they sent out to all of us after the movie. I guess they were supposedly actual props, but look at this thing. If I were to put it on right now, I'd look like a giant squirrel.
Well, I heard you wore it into the diner, and people were wondering about that.
Yeah, they're all going, what the heck is going on? What's Greg doing? But Yes, a very unique prop, and Lord knows I've got a bunch of them at home.
Wow. So you have these interactions, these brushes with celebrity, and you also are a film critic.
Yes.
So in the title, there
Yes.
is a suggestion that there is some critique of these movies.
Oh, yes.
How does that, you say these things on air about the movies, and then you see the real people who are in the movies that you're critiquing later. Does that ever,
I mean, every blue moon, but the funny part is sometimes even the celebrity knows that the movie isn't all that great because they'll start talking about everything except the movie in the interview.
I see.
I came to Detroit once and da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah. And when you're critiquing the films, how truthful can you be? I know I'm putting you on the spot, but how much of you comes out in that critique?
Yeah. Quite a bit. I mean, because sometimes I get accused of, you like everything, da-da-da-da-da. Let's say, you know what, nowadays people can't afford to make a bad movie. This isn't, these aren't the 1950s where somebody like Ed Wood, they'd give him like $3,000 and just put some movie together with, bad talent, bad everything else. Nowadays, these movies are costing, everything's in the millions to be made. And so, you've got to do, a good movie or something that you hope will entertain. There was one that just came out the other day called The Collective. And one of my friends gave it actually the best description. He said, it's a really good B movie. Because it's not going to be, Mission Impossible or anything like that. But it's an entertaining film. Like this weekend, you're sitting at home and it's like, I want some action. I want to hear from Don Johnson and Tyrese Gibson.
And isn't that what, many people today watch that? You've got so many options on TV and streaming and those kind of things. And there's those moments where you're just in the mood for that kind of a film. You're not looking for a blockbuster. You're not looking for something to change your life. You just want to escape for a little while and get away. Wow, so that's one. And how many reels would you have given it? Did you give it reels already?
That one? Yeah, I gave that one like a 3.5 out of 5. Well, I mean, it wasn't bad, like you said. And just a little fun, like, okay, I'm just going to kick back and have a drink of pop and some potato chips and just enjoy.
So in college, we'd give it probably a C+, I'm guessing. Awesome. Well, I can't believe it's time for us to go to a break already. I know. We will be right back with more Greg Russell because everyone wants more Greg Russell, right?
Yes.
Of course. Stay tuned.
I'll never forget the day our landlord called and said, read your lease. No pets allowed. My owner tells him my dog ate the lease, but that didn't work. And now I'm stuck in a shelter. But this pit bull is ready for a new crib. I'm loving, loyal, and play well with others. So don't be intimidated by all my muscles, because the biggest one I have is my heart. That's right, I said it.
Marie, you have prediabetes.
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
My name's Reggie. Just recently, my wife and I took in her sister's children. And we already had 4, so I went from becoming a family man to a man with a bigger family. Now, you can't eat love, so I don't know how I'm gonna feed them tonight. How was that, Reg?
I think I look more like Denzel.
That's cold, man.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
Do you like this top? It's so gay. Really? Yeah, it's totally gay.
You really shouldn't say that.
Say what?
Well, say that something's gay when you mean it's bad. It's insulting. What if every time something was bad, everybody said, oh, that's so girl wearing a skirt as a top?
Oh, you are.
Those are cute jeans, though. When you say that's so gay, do you realize what you say? Knock it off.
We're just hanging out in your local cafe here.
Having a good time.
Good time. And we hope you are too watching Celebrate Michigan. I'm here with Greg Russell from Movie Show Plus. And Greg, I need to know, have you ever been in a film?
Yes, I have.
Oh.
Back when they used to shoot, you know, when we had the great film incentives here in Michigan, I would be an extra in several. I'm trying to think of what I was in an episode of Hung that used to be on HBO.
Nice. Yes, James or James, Tom.
Yeah, Tom James.
Yes, yes.
And that was one of those great ones where it was, you had this, I even had lines because I'm a SAG member. And so it was where the lady was in a park. So she comes up and I'm the barista.
Oh,
so
I
she
love
asked for a cup of coffee and a donut. And I just kind of go, okay, here you go. It's like a napkin. Yeah. Got my whole family together for the episode. Only thing you see is me handing her the donut.
Oh, no line. Your lines.
I know, and they're going, what happened? I said, I don't know, but that's my hand, so I still get paid.
Oh, I love it. I love it. And filmed in the Detroit area, I understand, too.
In fact, that was down at Campus Martius. What was another movie? There's one with Sean Astin.
Oh, nice.
And I don't remember the name of this movie, but they're walking into a bar, and I just happen to be the first person they walk by, so we all get to say hi to each other.
So I could look you up on IMDb.
Yes.
Okay. I may have to do that.
Walk by
after the
Bar
show.
Guy.
There it is. Bar Guy, Greg Russell.
That's it.
So how often do you get to be on a set like this?
Ooh. You mean like this one where we are right now?
Yeah.
Wow. It used to be like sometimes when we go out to LA, especially, they would take us behind the scenes and let us see the actual sets. And then, again, when we shot the stuff here, it was just always fascinating. Because like when I walked in here today, this was like, wow, this is so great. I mean, this is being back at a malt shop.
Yes. You can almost smell the fries, right?
Oh, yeah. I'm waiting for Fonzie to come in now.
Yeah, we keep waiting for a wait person, but they just,
Yeah, I was going to say,
not really
where
good in
is
this
the
place.
person there?
I keep looking, but I'm not seeing anybody.
And that's going to take that quarter away.
I know. Well, what's really neat about this set is that it was actually used for a movie that we produced here at Madonna University, and we're so excited. And we're going to get to watch a little clip of it. You are going to get to take a look at it before anyone else gets to see it. So we'll roll the clip, and then I'd love to hear what you think of it.
Okay.
Sound good?
Great.
Okay, here we go. Relatively serious.
2 years ago, well, not really, in the year 2013, how's that, yeah, I was experimenting with some of Einstein's theory on general relativity and string theory. And after conducting some experiments on my own, a wormhole opened up. Then I recruited Monica to help with the sociological part of my research. And that's why you're all here.
Explain this to me like I was 5.
I invented time travel. And I brought you all here to 1985 so Monica could write her book, we can all become famous, and make a buttload of money.
Why us?
Right place, right time. Yes?
I was this close to beating that jerk Chip's pinball score. When you send me back, can I go to that moment? Please and thank you.
You will all be returning to the exact moment from whence you came.
Yes! I will destroy you, Chip Andrews.
Oh, more.
Movie, I know.
Wow.
You're left on the edge of your seat. So,
Yes.
So what'd you think?
I enjoyed it. I mean, the young man who is doing the lead part, what I'd say, was great. It was kind of like, wow, what an excellent job. And I want to see now the movie to find out what happens. Where are they going?
Good. We showed you the right clip. That's awesome.
Yeah.
We hope it'll get a lot of good reels on your rating system there.
Ding, 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 ding. Yes.
And I often ask people, explain it to me like I'm 5. You know,
Yes.
I love that line.
Right.
Well, you know, making movie magic, we do that here at Madonna University. And when you think about filmmakers from Michigan, you know, we're hoping that all of our students are going to go on and really be active in the scene. When you think of Michigan filmmakers, who comes to mind for you?
I mean, people like Sam Raimi,
Yeah.
Mike Binder, Oh my goodness! Don't you hate that on every mind?
Favorites? You know, you mentioned Sam Raimi, and I love it. Of course, there's the Bruce Campbell connection as well.
Oh yeah.
And so many good films that were made here.
Yep. And Jerry Bruckheimer.
Yes.
You know,
yes.
also. I mean, because of him, everybody at one time was buying that Mumford High School T-shirt.
Right. Right. And just the fact that, and you talked about the incentives and everything, you know, we would love to see that continue and keep that going at Madonna, and also keep that going in Michigan.
Right.
And when you say, and when you work with student filmmakers, or you hear these students that you're working with, are they excited and they're thinking about going into that as a potential future? Do they see that?
Some form of it, because the reality is that's their world now.
Yeah.
You know, like when I was growing up, we had the 8mm camera, which we could only use like on special occasions.
Right.
And you had so much other stuff to do. Now everybody's tied into their device and everybody's documenting everything.
Right.
So, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like almost in their DNA now.
And they can be superstars, if you will, because it takes just a couple clicks to put it online.
That cracks me up. You know, I see somebody doing something and it's like, you got 100,000 hits or likes or whatever the heck? Wow.
Right. Are you impressed with the creativity you see in the students and what they've got?
Because they've got, like you said, they're able to kind of like look at things a little bit differently. Then also, even just with the software and different things they even have on their phone, they can make somewhat Star Wars.
Yeah.
And make it look good.
Yeah.
As compared to us in the old days with stars on fishing wire.
Right, right.
And you're kind of like going, somebody's got to believe this.
Right, exactly. And I know there's effects and everything they can do. How do you keep up with all this?
It's kind of like just every time something new comes out. That's what I tell people. I mean, you know, even though I'm, you know, older than they are, but I still edit my own stuff. So I've got to keep on top of, you know, what's the latest way of editing?
Yeah.
What's the newest way to do stuff? I can't just sit back and go, well, this isn't the way we did it in 2000. Well, nothing is. Yeah.
Exactly. Back in my day,
Yeah,
right?
back in my day.
Right? My gosh, well, it's time for another break.
Oh,
This is going to have to be a 6-hour show because we clearly have much more to talk about. Stay tuned. We'll be back just in a minute with Greg Russell. I know you won't want to miss what's next.
You realize that 49 million Americans struggle with hunger? That's 1 out of every 6 Americans.
These people are around us every day. They're our friends, they're our coworkers, their kids go to school with our kids.
Sometimes we're not even aware that they're struggling. This problem is closer than you think. But so is the solution.
Play a role in ending hunger. Visit feedingamerica.org/hunger and find your local food bank.
They call me Prince like I'm royalty or something. But the places I've lived ain't no palaces. So I don't need grilled salmon or a new scratching post. Just give me a cardboard box and a can of tuna and we're good. You can even change my name. I'm cool being the kitty formerly known as Prince.
Maria, so how's work?
It was 4th period biology. Our students just weren't getting how easily viruses spread. So Miss Bell and I had them role play a zombie virus outbreak. By the time they had all learned the lesson, all the living were dead. Hey, how's your job going?
That big sales meeting I planned? Next year, I might get to go.
Cool.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
feel free to twist. It's okay.
Oh, yeah.
Greg Russell over here doing the twist.
Like we did last summer.
That's right. Doing his movie show plus twist for us. And this has just been amazing being, again, here on the set.
Oh, gosh.
You know, such a fun way to see you.
Yeah, this is great. We should keep this. This is fabulous.
I know. So tell me about sets. How much in the work that you do and when you're watching a movie, reviewing a movie, when you're working with a movie, how much does the set play into what's happening? And how much does the set appear as a character, if you will?
Like I said, a lot of times, especially when it's a bigger, movie.
Yeah.
I mean, think about the Death Star in Star Wars. I mean,
often
that
do.
was true. That was truly its own character. Gosh, like all the Indiana Jones movies.
Yeah.
Just where they wound up, just being big parts. Even going back to 1939, think about walking to the Emerald City.
Oh.
That was like the big part there. It's
Yes.
like, that's where the wizard lives.
Yes.
That's what we've all got to see. So yeah, a lot of them do have, big things or even small things that are definitely a big part of the movie. A lot of times when they're just walking around, say like Central Park or something like that, okay, the park's there, but yeah.
Yeah, and we talked earlier about, CGI, and there's directors, Oppenheimer was out, and
Yeah.
we heard, very much so that the director of that film felt very much that he did not want to go with a lot of computer generated. He was trying to create his own effects.
Right.
Do you think that makes a difference in a film?
I think so, especially like that one, because that took place at time-wise, I think what was it, 1930s or 40s, something like that. So they wouldn't have had anything that would have looked, really cool or anything they would have really needed to CGI. You strike a match, you can just strike a real match,
Right.
Something like that. So yeah, for that one, he didn't need a lot, but Christopher Nolan, so that is,
We say no more, right?
That's right.
And you mentioned Indiana Jones, the most recent installment came out, and there was a lot of discussion about Harrison Ford and the effects and everything that they did. Amazing.
Oh, they did, and because some people were going, why did they do that? It's like, well, the opening scene was supposed to have taken place like 30 years before where we're coming back to. I don't know. I know I don't look the same way I did when I was, 30 years ago.
Same.
You've been.
I haven't aged a day, right?
No, you haven't.
Since the last time you were on Celebrate Michigan?
No. But yeah, so sometimes when you use it like that, it works.
Is there a favorite, when you think of the backdrop of a movie or a particular setting in a movie, is there one that just jumps out at you? Like, oh my gosh, if I could go to that place, I would go there.
Oh, wow. Something like that. Let's see.
A scene.
I'm going to say anything in London, because I love London. But I will tell you this much. One of my most favorite end scenes of a movie is Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. And that's because at the end it's he and Sean Connery and the two other guys on the horses. And when they ride through the mountain range.
Was it Sala?
Yeah. And they ride through, and it's just, that to me, not something, it's just like the best looking. I mean, that's the way to end a movie. They're riding off into the sunset. They're all, just getting from the back.
The colors, they're riding through the canyon, I think, if I remember correctly.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, so it really gives you a feeling and a tone from it. Oh.
Sometimes, honest to goodness, like a lot of other people who love movies, I'll just watch that. Just like at the end, it's like, great, that's my empowerment.
So I know those that are watching would want me to ask you this. Have you seen the Barbie movie?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and?
I enjoyed it.
Okay, excellent. You didn't wear pink today.
Well, I'll show you my socks later. No,
okay,
I'm kidding.
next time, right?
Yeah.
So I have to ask, everyone wants to know, do you have a favorite movie? Is there a movie that's like the best movie if you had to pick one?
Well, here's what I always tell people, because I used to always get asked that.
I'm sure.
And so I would say, like way back when, everybody would say Citizen Kane, and people after a while would go, oh, no, what? Or you say Godfather 2, and everybody's like, well, what about Godfather 1, or what about this? And people always will ask it, and when you give them the answer, then they want to debate you.
Oh.
Here's my thing in regards to best movie ever.
Yeah.
What's your favorite movie?
Oh, you're turning it back on me then. I have to say, the Indiana Jones movies are some of my favorites.
Well, then guess what? Those are the best movies ever made. Because they're the best ones that you like.
That create.
Yeah, because no one's ever going to, have basically the same opinions about, the same movie.
Right.
Some folks, again, might like Godfather 2 up here at a 9. But then somebody else might like it as a 7 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like whatever your favorite movie is. Like one of mine, the movie Sideways with Paul Giamatti.
Oh, yes.
I watch that every time it comes on. I just love that film.
And I bet you see something different in it every time.
Oh, yeah. And I remember doing the interviews for that thing. And of course, poor Paul getting chased by the Merlot people.
Still.
Yes.
So we're talking to you at a time when there's a strike going on.
Yes.
What is the effect of that on you, and how are you coping with that?
Well, we were getting back to traveling, after the pandemic.
Yeah.
Now we're back to doing the Zoom stuff. But now we're interviewing the directors or producers of the film because they're not part of the, the whole strike thing.
Yeah.
Which, I had someone today, and actually, a very nice director. But a lot of times, directors or producers, they're not on-camera people. They're not ready for it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're kind of like doing right now.
So it's probably giving you a run for your money, I guess you could say. Huh?
Yeah.
Trying to feel like, okay, I gotta
Can you expand on that one-word answer you just gave me? Thank you.
More.
Right.
Well, I always ask you this when I get to see you. Your recent brushes with celebrity, and it might have been a while ago now because we're dealing with what we're dealing with.
Yep.
But who are some of the recents?
Oh, let's see. Recently, it was The Rock, not too long ago. And also my next favorite, James Bond, Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, who's
Yes.
your first favorite?
Sean Connery.
Of course.
Sean Connery, of course.
Okay, gotcha. Daniel Craig it's not in your top 5?
He might be 5, something like that.
Okay.
But those are my top two, and it's because when I grew up, Sean was the guy, and really Pierce is there because he's one of the nicest people to talk to. I love going into a room where he is, and he just is just this really cool guy.
Yeah. It's hard to believe, but it's time to go.
No.
I know. Where can people who can't get enough of Greg Russell find you? Where will they look for you?
Go to movieshowplus.com. That's our website. Check out all of our stuff there. We've got all of our interviews as well as other fun things. In fact, we're even giving away stuff now too. We're back to doing that.
I love free stuff.
Yes.
Oh, and if you're watching and you love what you saw here and you're like, I think I want to make movies and make movie sets, you should check out www.madonna.edu. Greg, thanks for being here today. Always a pleasure.
Always great. Always great.
Thank you. And thank you for watching. We'll see you next time on Celebrate Michigan.
Come on, let's go to a movie.
I know.
I'm buying.
No, I know.